How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. It's a nice day today after all the rain we've had. Man, we've had so much rain. I hadn't been able to ride in, I guess, over a week. Of course, it wasn't raining that whole time. One day I was having to repair the roof on one of my storage buildings. Big tree limb came down and went right through the roof. So I was cutting up fallen tree limbs and burning and patching holes in roofs. But we've had quite a bit of rain. There've been a lot of folks being flooded around here, you know. Of course, everything around here is flat, so really you get that much rain and don't have anywhere to go, I guess. But anyway, I was just thinking about when I was young and just starting out riding. And you've seen these old memes, I believe, on Facebook and other places, talking about no kid ever dreamed of growing up and being a gold wing rider. But I was that weird kid. I have always been fascinated by big touring bikes. I've always wanted one ever since I first started riding. Let me think a second. I was 14 or 15. I guess I was 15. Might have been 14, just fixing to turn 15. When we got our first bike, was a Honda SL 125, and after getting the bike, of course it was me and my oldest brother, we was sharing it, you know, but after getting the bike, I was talking about getting my license so I could ride the sucker on the road. We find out in the state of Alabama, if you're under 16 years of age, 5 horsepower is the biggest motorcycle you're allowed to ride on the roads. So of course Mom and Daddy, they wasn't about to let me take that motorcycle out on the road because it was more than 5 horsepower. So we looked around, and I found me, I don't know if y'all remember, a little old Suzuki, I think it was a TS50, 4.9 horsepower. So here I was 14 or 15, I think I was, anyway, I was under 16. And I got this little old sucker. And like I say, I've always just been fascinated with touring bikes. And so my dad had earlier bought a Honda 350 twin cylinder, and so he bought himself a windshield and bought some saddlebags to go on it. I don't know if y'all remember a company, it was Bates. They had motorcycle accessories, but there was a big old place there in Prattville where we lived, big old warehouse where they had all these Bates and other motorcycle accessories. I forget the name of the company, but that was their distribution point. And anyway, my dad, he knew the guy that owned the place. He was able to get him a windshield and some saddlebags at a discount price, I guess you'd say. But anyway, after he put them on his bike. After a while, he decided he wasn't crazy about the windshield, because anybody that's ridden a bike with a windshield knows if you got a loose fitting shirt, it blows forward because of the low pressure behind the windshield. But he just didn't like all that, so he winds up taking them off. And me being the one that I just love touring bikes, I took his saddlebags and his windshield and I mounted them on my little TS50. Now, yeah, that was a funny looking sight. But man, I tell you what, I thought I was cool riding around with a windshield and saddlebags on this little old Suzuki, boy. The thing it would do on level ground, you could get up to 60 on it. But if you had the slightest incline in the road, like this one in front of us here, by the time you get to the top, you might be doing 40, 45. It just didn't have no power. But anyway, I thought I was a hot dog with that touring Suzuki 50. But I remember one time I was riding through town there and turned and was going through this neighborhood, and there was a police car coming from the other way. An old policeman, he was flagging me down to stop, so I stopped. And they get out, and I know they was laughing at me, but they was picking at me. They say, hey, did you just come through so-and-so? And I'm a young kid. I was scared. The police done made me stop. So, no. And they kept on, or the one kept on. Finally, the partner said, no, hey, whatever his name, hey, I think that was a bigger bike. They said, all right, well, you just be careful out there. I know they were just picking at me, but man, they're probably laughing. This crazy little old boy on this motor scooter with a big old saddlebags and a windshield on it. But I still thought I was a top dog. I had me a touring bike. But anyway, after I became an older man and my kids was all grown, then I finally was able to get me a touring bike. I bought me an old Gold Wing. It was old 84 Gold Wing. I mean, it needed a little work, but it run, and I rode it, and I enjoyed it. And after a couple of years, I got my first Harley. I got I sold the Gold Wing, and my wife had, because she's retired Air Force, so out on the base Maxwell there in Montgomery, they've got what they call a lemon lot, where folks will sell their cars and campers and whatever like that they want to get rid of. And a fella had a 07 Ultra Classic. So I got that. Kept it for a couple years or so. And then I traded it in for this one here. This is a 2016. I got it brand new. This is a limited, but I got it brand new, and Look at these crazy nuts come out through here and ride through this grass after all the rain. Park ranger. Folks down there fishing, I reckon. Shoot. Oh, somebody lost their bobber. But anyway, I was that weird kid that wanted to grow up and be a gold wing rider. And then you never know, before I pass on, hopefully I will get another gold wing. Cause I'm tell you, that is one good riding bike. Even as old as that one was I had, that sucker rode good. But what did you start on? When you first started riding, what were you on? And what style bike is your favorite? I know a lot of folks crazy about sport bikes. Of course, I never cared for a sport bike myself. Now my son, my youngest son, he thought they was greatest, and he had to get him one. So he's had a couple of them, but of course he's on a Harley now. He finally grew up, and he's got him a, oh, what is it? It's the stripped down electric glide they've got out now, but it's a real nice bike. Of course, he's done some work to it, you know, but it's a good looking bike. Anyway, I just out riding this morning and got to thinking about that, about when I was a youngin', and that little old TS50 I had. And of course, as soon as I was 16, I was able to get on the other bike and ride it, and then got rid of the little old 50. But ain't that something? If you're under 16 in Alabama, of course I don't know if it's still that way now, but back then it was under 16, 5 horsepower is the biggest you were allowed to ride on the road legally. Now everybody rode bigger than that. Of course, my mom and dad, you're gonna go by the law, or you ain't gonna live in this house. You're gonna go by the law. But anyway. Just out riding, enjoying this beautiful day, this beautiful morning. So I thank you for coming along with me. Hope you have a good day. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, be good, be safe. See ya. Bye.